Fantasy Realms. It's a little card hand management
Hang
game.
on 1 second, because I accidentally just started the stream. How's it going, everybody? Alex from Gray Fox Games here. Accidentally started it just a couple minutes early, so we won't get anything significant started until we really get rumbling here. We're live from Gray Fox Games headquarters here in beautiful St. Louis, specifically Maryland Heights. I'm going to be joined here in a moment by my good buddy Josh, our head of game development and product acquisition, an all-around alien badass, because he is going to be taking on the role of the aliens today. I've got the humans. If you have any questions, throw them in the chat on the sidebar there. We may see it, we may not. This is our first time really using a YouTube live stream, so we'll see how this one goes. In any case, for folks who aren't familiar, this is War of the Worlds, the new wave. It's a sequel to War of the Worlds, set a couple of decades after the first alien invasion in H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds. So we have one player who's going to be playing the aliens, trying to wipe out the civilian population of the UK. And you have one player, myself, who's going to play the UK Self-Defense Forces, trying to battle back against the aliens and ultimately save the day by doing enough damage to the alien units. Josh, who will be playing as the aliens, will have the distinct advantage of me not being able to damage his stuff at all. So I'm sure he's going to take that to good effect. I'm sorry, not by damage his stuff at all, but have his units wiped off the board. Say hi to everyone, Josh.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, everyone. It's Josh.
Humans are a plague. They will be destroyed.
And we're off and going. Quick note for everyone at the start of this, and again, we're just a little bit early. This is a prototype copy, so some of what you're seeing is pretty close to final. Check out this beautiful UFO mini that I'm sure is going to cause me a lot of trouble over the course of this game. We also have these tripods, which are going to be the primary way Josh is going to wreak havoc upon me. But as soon as I can start getting my feet under me, I might build something like this boat or these wonderful tank units. Ooh, fancy.
I'm gonna blow up those tank units.
You're probably gonna blow up a lot of stuff, but hopefully I'll be able to do enough damage to you, so it won't ultimately end up being a huge issue. We'll find out. All right, let's give a quick overview of how we play War of the Worlds: The New Wave, because we've hit 4 o'clock. We've hit the actual starting time of the stream.
Woo! Let's get started. Oh, we're going.
Oh, we're going. Yeah. Yep. Here we go. So for folks just joining us, Josh is going to be playing as the aliens, and I am going to be playing as the human side of things. Let's show you a quick look at the board so you can see a little bit about what we're talking about. I'm going to tilt that down. This is the damage marker for the aliens. Once that gets up to 30, humans win. All of these red cubes on the board represent civilians out and about. Once Josh can wipe all of those off the board, he would win. You have different regions here in the UK. Yep, tripod. Hey, a little too early for that, bud. All right. So that's what our board looks like. We're going to be doing stuff on the board using these cards in our deck. So we'll start off with these starting 10 cards. These are my starting 10 cards. They are completely different from Josh's starting 10 cards. So I have things like gorillas, which allow me to do damage to tripod units using civilians. Pretty nifty. I also have relocate, which gives me purchase power, but also allows me to evacuate humans to a safer part of the island. And that's pretty much what makes up my starting deck, just those 2 sets of cards, but I will be purchasing more as the game goes on. Josh, on the other hand, has a few more nasty things at his disposal right off the bat. So he's got power supply, which is his way of getting resources needed to buy cards. But he also has, say, reap ability like this, which lets him move around the board and get rid of unprotected civilians. Or he can trash the card to get bonus resources. He also has a way to move his UFO and do damage that way. And then finally, he has a super powerful tripod card, which is what he's going to be using to do the bulk of the damage to my my piddly human units, my soft, fleshy units.
Well, it's because we aliens have ambition. We have something that we're setting out to accomplish. You humans are just like, oh, let's survive. Whatever.
We're doing damage to you. Hey, we're fighting back. We will not go quietly into this night. We're going to live on. All right. Here's what Josh has. So this is his purchase row right now for the 5 cards he has available to him. As we buy cards, we'll be showing you what those are. But right now he's got those options at the start of the game. Poisonous Fog, Frightening Sound, another Poisonous Fog, an Alien Factory, and what's that? Plasma Synthesis.
Yep. Plasma Synthesis. Yeah, this is one of the cool things about this game is that the decks that you're building not only start asymmetrical, but the decks that you build from are asymmetrical. So I have my own market, Alex has his own market, and so there are a handful of different strategies that we can pursue within our own decks, and then how they match up against whatever strategy our opponent is pursuing is really fascinating. The games end up being wildly asymmetrical every time that you play, so it's really, really cool.
And what you're going to see as these buildings get bought is they will get built. Josh's will get built next to his alien building, which starts way up here in the corner, up in Dorney, where that alien ship crash landed. So that's where
we meant to land it that way.
Yeah, meant to land over there. He'll be building adjacent to it once he starts wiping off some of those pesky civilians nearby. I get to build basically wherever civilians are. I'll be building protective buildings, forts, army units, all sorts of fun stuff. But anytime those buildings get bought, they will get immediately discarded. They don't go into your deck. They're just something that gets put onto the board, represented by these prototype pieces. Check those out. Cool. So we've got our starting decks ready. I need to deal out my starting row of things. And then it'll be Josh who will take the first turn. Josh, as the alien player, always gets to go first.
Josh goes first. We wrote that in the rule book.
We did. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat on the side. It's our first time using YouTube streaming, so I don't know if we'll see them very readily. I think we'll see them, but you never know. So, all right. Let's get my buy row out there. Got an airstrike, a supply depot, an evacuate card, a barrage balloons, and a supply depot. All interesting options for me to start this game off with. All right, cool. Alien player, do your worst.
Okay. Do you want to angle this so people can see the board? Or
Yeah,
look
why
at me
not?
the whole time?
There we go. There we go. That's angled down, and we'll show off cards as they come up.
Okay. So let's see. I've got, in my opening draw here, I've got 3 power supplies, a tripod card, and a reap. So let me see how I want to use these. We're going to go ahead and move a tripod into an adjacent region. So we're going to move that guy down there.
Using your reap or your tripod?
Using the reap.
Okay.
And then we're going to use the tripod to do 2 damage in a region with the tripod unit, take these 2 humans out of here. And then I've got these power supplies, which will give me 1 or 2 purchasing power each. Let me see what I want to get rid of here.
It's 1 by itself and 2 if he decides to trash the card from the game.
So I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 at a value of 1, and then trash this one so I go up to 4, buy this plasma synthesis card, and stick it right into my deck for some future purchasing power.
Let's show him what plasma synthesis is. Plasma synthesis is a card that will get him better access to resources. Basically, he's upgraded his resource production right off the jump.
Yep.
There you go.
And that's me.
That's Josh's turn. All right, my starting hand, I have some gorillas, which I intend to use. And then I have a whole bunch of relocate cards, which is good because I need the money to really start battling back. So gorillas lets me do 1 damage in a region with a civilian token, or if I trash the card, it can do 2 in a region with a civilian token. I'm just going to use it for the 1 and ping that tripod using this lone human here to do 1 point of damage to Josh. That's the first point to Josh. All right, and then I have 4 relocate cards. These either let me move civilians out of harm's way, or I can get purchasing power off of them. By themselves, they're 1, just like Josh's 1 is, or I can trash them to get 2. In this case, I don't feel a need to trash because the card I want is right there. I'm going to buy a supply depot. This is a building card, so it's going to get discarded immediately. But what supply depot does is it is going to give me 1 extra revenue each round without having to do anything, have that card in my hand. And I'm going to put that in a nice safe space far, far away from the alien menace, way down here.
Oh, but I want to destroy that.
Well, you got to work for it.
I'll destroy it later.
Yep. I'm going to replenish my card, so I now have a new card in there to purchase from. Discard my hand. Josh's turn.
Okay. Well, let's start with a reap and remove this human unit that remains here. I'm going to use this power supply and trash that card again for 2 purchasing cost. I'm also going to trash one of these reap cards for 2 purchasing cost and build this particle generator. So I too will have 1 increased production every turn in this newly cleared out land area. We're going to play UFO and move a UFO unit up to 2 regions. So we're going to go ahead and bounce that guy down to Glasgow. And then this reap card will let me move that tripod unit and we're going to send him up here towards Aberdeen.
Okie dokie. So worth knowing, none of Josh's units can be removed from the board, and the only way I win is by damaging his units or buildings. Tripod units can certainly take damage. We just saw that in the first round. UFO units, on the other hand, there is no way I can do damage to them. Doesn't matter if I'm using a tank, a boat, a civilian. Doesn't matter what I'm doing. That can never take
We're
damage.
way too high on this guy for your piddly human technology.
This is true, and it is pretty piddly, at least at the start. We're gonna start fighting back here. So I've got some interesting stuff in hand. I'm trying to think if I want to thin here or if I want to go for it. What are we going to do here? All right. What I am going to do.
That's the sound of the human factories revving up.
We have someone blow drying some leaves out here or some snow. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully he'll be gone in a bit. Hopefully it's not too loud. Wait for it. All right, he's gone, mostly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use a gorilla card once, twice, and 3 times on Josh because he has a tripod unit in my region with 3 cubes. So I can ping him 1, 2, 3 times. I'm not allowed to use the same civilian twice with the same card, but because he left that tripod unit all alone with 3 people, that's going to be a lovely 3 points of damage to him, taking him up to 4.
It's disappointing, and I don't care for it.
Good. I have 1 revenue to start, and then I also have these 2, which can be used as revenue. I'm just going to have those 3 revenue, and I'm going to buy an evacuate card. This card will let me move up to 2 civilians to adjacent regions or get 2 revenue. It'll be good for as I'm running around. It also upgrades my purchasing power. Does a couple good things. The other thing I'm going to do is once per turn, I'm allowed to basically put one of these cards on the bottom of the deck. I'm going to put this airstrike on the bottom of the deck and replenish both of these.
Old airstrike Alex, they call him.
That's what they call me. I'm going to reshuffle everything, and I am good to go. It is your turn, Dr. Alien.
I'm not a real doctor. Okay, so we're going to use this plasma synthesizers for 2 purchasing power and trash this power supply for 2 purchasing power and throw another plasma synthesizers in my discard pile. Ramp up my economy here. Use this UFO to blast one of these humans out of Scotland.
Now, worth knowing, you do have 1 purchase power already on the board, so you don't have to trash that other card if you don't want
That's a
to.
good point. I don't want to trash that card. I forgot about my free purchasing power.
Yep.
And then we'll go ahead and double reap where the tripod is and take these 2 units off the board.
Mm-hmm.
And then it is back to you, sir.
All right. So I've reshuffled my deck. 5. Here we go. All right. Got a whole handful of interesting stuff here. Got a lot of relocates and evacuates. So a lot of stuff to get people out of harm's way. And I think how I'm going to handle this.
Yes, run, human.
I'm going to run. This relocate is going to move this human from here next to your alien ship.
No.
And is going to chill out there for a little bit. So I'm not using it for the purchasing power. I'm just using it for that. And then with the rest of these, I have...
The best you can do is shoot a crash-landed spaceship.
That's actually okay for me. So I have 1 purchasing power on the board, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could use that as 6. I could use that differently. What I'm going to do is I'm going to trash one of my relocate cards to get a bonus revenue. So that's going to give me 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the board. I'm going to buy another supply depot and an evacuate card. The supply depot gets put on the board in a spot of my choosing. I'm going to put that way down here.
Man, you are building up some good defenses.
Yep.
Troubles me.
That's the idea. These all replenish, and that is the end of my turn. Go ahead.
All right. Well, I got to tell you, I'm not prepared for this yet. 2, 3, 4, 5 purchasing power. What do I want here? I'm going to throw one of these cards to the bottom of the deck and see what else I get. Bounce this up here. A lot of frightening sounds, a lot of infrasound. Containing, adjacent. All right, so we're going to go ahead and throw down a plasma synthesizer. And, of course, these 2 power supplies to buy this infrasound. I'm going to have 1 additional purchasing power. What are we doing? Oh, you're going to show that
I want to show people what this does. So infrasound lets him, as an action on a future turn, deal 1 damage in a land region adjacent to a tripod unit, and then he gets to move 1 army unit from that region away. So if I get army units, he'll be able to mess with those pretty well with that very annoying sound.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
And then we're going to go ahead and use Reap to move my tripod into this space and tripod to take out 2 of these human units.
Yep. Very good.
Back to you.
Back to me. All right. So I got a handful of gorilla cards, which they're okay, but I think I need to thin at least one of them. So I'm going to spend this gorilla unit on this card.
I think you should keep them. I think you should build around. Get a really fat deck. Lots of gorillas in there. No problem.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to trash this card, which lets me do 2 damage in a region that I share with the unit here. So this is going to do 2 damage directly to his ship, taking him up to 6 damage of the 30 I need to win the game. Then I'm going to look at the rest of my hand, figure out what I'm going to do. Let's just do 1 point of damage with this other unit up here with the tripod. So that's another point of damage, taking him up to 7. And then I have a relocate and some more gorillas. I am going to, let's see. I'm going to use relocate to move this civilian over to here.
Mm-hmm.
And
Get that out of the way.
And then the rest of these cards don't do anything because I don't have any humans in alien regions. Can't buy anything. Your turn.
All right. Once again, we're going to start by cycling one of these cards to the bottom, looking for something tasty to acquire. Oh, that's pretty cool. I don't think I've ever used this card. It's like game 6 for me.
Oh, what's this one? Okay, so he's talking about the regenerator.
I can't afford it right now.
If he buys the regenerator, he would build this on a spot. Not that he has any legal building places at the moment, but it would allow him to spend 4 to heal 1 per round, which with the 1 base that you already have, pretty useful.
Yeah, and I would love to be able to heal myself, but we're not there yet. So let me start by using Reap to move into the space with their human unit. Reap to destroy this human unit.
Yep.
Infrasound to do 1 damage in an adjacent unit.
Mm-hmm.
Take out that human.
They were so brave.
We'll use the UFO to blast one of these guys in the space where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll go ahead and play this plasma synthesis along with my building for 3 purchasing power to get frightening sound.
So frightening sound allows him to do 1 in a land region containing a tripod unit. And during the next turn, humans and civilians cannot enter this region. So he basically seals it off for himself.
Yeah, I'd love to keep those guys at bay where they cannot come and deal damage to me.
Makes sense. Speaking of dealing damage to you, we're going to... So I have a handful with 4 relocate cards and 1 gorillas card.
Hey, before you brag about all your gorillas, I just want to remind you that all of northern England has been depopulated.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm making some progress on damaging you, so I feel like I'm doing all right here.
I feel like I have a lot to prove since the last time the aliens were wiped out by like a flu virus. So
Right.
Since the common cold did me in last time, I've really got a chip on my shoulder this time.
You gotta prove yourself. All right. So I'm going to play this card, this relocate card, not for its purchasing power, but to move a civilian unit. I'm going to move this civilian unit next to your building, and then I am going to use this gorillas card to do 1 damage in a region. Basically, I'm pounding this building. I can't damage it. I can't destroy it, but I can ping you for damage. You're now up to 8 damage of the 30 I need to win. The rest of these I'm going to use for purchasing power. I have 2 on the board, and you know what? This is going to be fun. I think we are going to burn one of these cards out of deck for an extra purchase power. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6
Ugh.
to buy the Royal Navy. So
No.
when I buy the Royal Navy, a boat unit gets built immediately down here in Portsmouth. On future turns, when I play this card for its action, I can move this boat and ultimately bombard Josh and mess around with his stuff. So this is going to be something for him to think about for the rest of the game. So that is Royal Navy. The rest of my cards are discarded. I'm going to draw more, and it's Josh's turn.
All right. I have a response to the Navy already.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, since I need to get into the ocean and do damage, I'm going to need more ability to move my UFO. So we're going to start by playing my purchasing power. Plasma synthesis for 2, power supply for 3, 1 on the board for 4, and then we'll trash this power supply, bringing me up to 6. Taking the Scorching Beam card, so I have another means to do damage with my UFO.
Lets him do 2 damage in a unit with UFO. So,
And then we'll go ahead and play the Reap to move into where your...
oops, sorry.
Just put that anywhere. To this unit where your civilians are, and the tripod action to destroy these humans. Back to you, sir.
That's fine. He fought very bravely. Or she. I don't know. Girls, hey, civilians, they're both genders.
All genders.
All genders. Yes. Thank you. All right. I have some stuff to do on my turn.
Also, there is no record of bravery. It was just quick.
It was just quick, and well, they did some damage to you before they went out.
That unit was present.
They existed.
That's what we have on.
Fair enough. All right. Here's
It
what
looks like we got a comment. If we have a
Yeah, I do. The question is, when is this supposed to be released? My wife and I will be first in line. Well, it's on Kickstarter live right now if you want to pledge for it. And the anticipated release date we have for this is in August of this year.
Yep. Yeah, the retail version will be a little bit different than what you see here in regards to components. Like the miniatures, for example, are Kickstarter exclusive, but the standees will come in the retail edition. So there's a couple ways to acquire this, whether you want to pledge for it now or wait for it to hit stores.
That's right.
Yep.
All right. So I have 2 cards in my hand that are basically dead right now, these Gorillas cards. Until Josh comes down and starts messing with my stuff, those aren't going to do me a whole heck of a lot of good. But what I can do is let's take a look at this. This is going to be the first time I'm going to buy this building. So purchase power of 4 plus 2 on the board is 6, and that's going to allow me to buy heavy artillery. Heavy artillery is right here. This is going to get built on the board, gets discarded, and what it lets me do is, once per turn, I can do 2 damage in a region with the artillery. So if Josh moves a unit into my space that's not a UFO, that's awesome for me. Or I can do 1 damage in an adjacent region. So if I put this in a pretty juicy spot, it can ping away at Josh as he moves down the board and provide me a little bit of cover. I'm going to build this heavy artillery way up here. It has 3 defense on it too, which is pretty decent for me as well. This card gets burned out of the game. It has 3 defense and has some nice effects that I can use going forward.
Whoa.
So that takes care of the evacuates. And then I have some relocates and some gorillas. I'm going to actually use this card to move people around to relocate. This is going to be, I'm going to relocate one of my civilian units into this zone because it's nice and heavily fortified. The rest of these cards get discarded. My gorillas cards don't do anything. I'm not next to Josh. It's Josh's turn.
All right, I'm going to start by cycling this regenerator because even though I like it, I don't think I can build around that strategy right now. I got to get more movement and more damage. So let's see what I can get here. Plasma synthesis is nice. I do want to get some junk out of this deck. So let me go ahead and start by moving this tripod with the tripod card. 1 space forward. We're going to play the frightening sound here. Because I do not want humans entering this region next turn while I stage to do some damage here. And then we're going to play Plasma Synthesis, trash this Reap card so that I can get up to 4 or more purchasing power to buy this Plasma Synthesis and get faster to those cards next time. And then I'm just going to end up using this Fortune Beam to do nothing because I could not move my UFO this turn.
Yeah, that's the trick is that UFO is nice and invulnerable from damage, but it's hard to hit. Worth knowing, we have just a slightly misprinted card. If you want to buy this one, Josh, that will be, yes. Nice.
I got it.
He did his research.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. My turn now.
Not my first, how do you humans say, extermination? Rodeo.
Rodeo. That's it. All right. I am going to use this Royal Navy card to move my Royal Navy over to here, along this coastline where I think Josh is likely to do some amount of damage. I am going to, let's see, I have some relocate cards, I have some gorillas cards, but first I'm going to do this to do 1 damage in a region adjacent. Smack your tripod for a point of damage.
Mm-hmm.
Takes it up to 9.
Don't care for that.
I
really wanted to win while you were in single digits, so it's not looking.
I don't think that's likely.
Promising.
No, and you've swept some people off the board, but I'm starting to build back up here. I'm liking what I'm doing.
It looks like our commenter has run off to Kickstarter. Thank you.
I hope that's the case. All right. Got 2 points on the board, and then at least 3 purchasing power. I could trash for more. Ooh, this is interesting. I am going to buy. Okay, I've got 2 plus 3 is 5. Let's get. What's up?
The humans with their rising intonation on the battlefield. I'm going to buy.
I am going to get a barrage balloons. This is going to keep Josh from moving his UFO into a specific region. So let's get barrage balloons. I'm going to put these barrage balloons right here on there. I'm going to put them there. So it will keep Josh from moving his UFO into that area. Actually, no, that's fine. That's fine right there. This card is discarded, and then my other card is Gorillas, which I can't use. I don't have any units next to you.
Now, could you have put that one of these spaces, or are you prevent it because there's already a building?
There's already a building there, so I
Gotcha.
can't double up. Your turn.
All right. Well, I need more UFOs. So we're going to trash this REAP card, and we're going to trash this power supply, and we're going to play this plasma synthesis. So 2, 4, 6, 7 to buy this UFO.
Uh-oh.
Go ahead and spawn another one here. In addition, I've got infrasound and this UFO. So we're going to use the infrasound to blast a human in this adjacent region.
Yep.
And then I could move an army unit, but there aren't any there. And then we'll use the UFO to move 2 spaces. I don't know where I want to go with him. Do I want to just sit on that building in an attempt to destroy it later? Do I want to threaten your ship there? Oh boy, I can't take him out this turn, so we're going to go ahead and sit on this. What is this? 2 different attack values here.
If you are in this region,
Mhm.
I can do 2 damage to you once per turn. If and then this is the defense of the building,
Gotcha.
and then once in a region adjacent. So next turn I'll be able to ping you for another point of damage.
Okay, that's the thing I hate. We're going to park my UFO on top of that to destroy it later.
Yep, makes sense.
Back to you.
Back to me. All right. We've got some interesting things we can do. Now this is gone now because you
That is
have
done. Yeah, it was a single turn on this.
single turn effect. So I can't damage UFOs, so I can't use my artillery to blast them. They're just too high up in the sky for me to really do much there. But I can do some interesting other things.
I recommend you shoot the artillery straight up. And just don't worry.
It just doesn't do anything.
Yeah, don't worry about it. If it comes back down, maybe hit some of your
Right.
units, no problem.
So I'm going to use this relocate card to move a civilian token up next to this this tripod, and then I'm going to burn this Gorillas card out of my deck to do 2 damage to the aliens, take you up to 11. I'm going to use my once per turn ability here to do another damage to the tripods, taking you up to 12. And then I have another Gorillas card that's not going to be worth anything, and then I have 4 purchasing power, or I could use this to move humans around. 4 purchasing power plus the 2 on the board. Before I buy, I'm going to take one of these cards and tuck it under the deck to see what comes up. Ooh, looks like we have a couple of options here. I am going to... I'm going to get another evacuate card just to increase purchasing power. And then I'm going to get bunkers. I'm going to build bunkers. And this card is out of the game. Bunkers card, for folks, this is pretty simple. This just has a defense value of 2. So it's going to make it hard for Josh to mess with anything down over here. So I've done that. I've got my evacuates. I'm going to replenish my buy row. Over to you.
All right. We're going to go ahead and trash this plasma synthesis and this REAP, plus that for 6 buying power so that I can build this plasma reactor.
Let's show him what that does. So the plasma reactor gets him an extra 2 purchasing power per turn. He's going to build it right up in that region. So he has basically a base buy of 3 each turn to work off of.
I'm satisfied with that. And then we're going to move this tripod unit 1 space adjacent, and then frightening sound. Oh, sorry, we'll have to start with frightening sound to wipe out this guy.
Yep.
And then move that tripod.
Frightening sound means I can't go in there.
It means you cannot bring human units into this space next turn.
All right.
And then we've got this UFO action, which I would love to use to blast that, but I just don't have enough damage. So next time.
Do you want to move one of your other UFO units? Because you have 2 on the board.
I forgot I had 2 on the board. I definitely want to move this UFO unit. I think we'll bring him out to sea in case you want to sail up here and start taking on these buildings.
All right. Fair
UFO
enough.
deterrent.
Fair enough. Yeah, and what Josh has done, which is interesting, is he's put his tripod out of reach of my naval unit. So I can't use this to ping him for damage, at least right now.
Was the idea.
It was a good one. It was a good idea. All right, what are we going to do here? All right.
Oh, man, I have planned poorly. Gotta remember better what I've got in my deck.
I am going
Ill prepared.
to...
I should have studied before this.
should have studied this again. You messed up. All right, I am going to...
I have a terrible record in games on stream. Really bad.
This is true. I'm going to relocate Let's actually do it this way. I'm going to evacuate to move up to 2 different ones to adjacent land regions. So I'm going to move one over here next to this tripod, and I'm going to move one over here into this heavily fortified bunker. Then I am going to use guerrillas to ping you for a point of damage, taking you up to 13 points of damage. And then this other guerrillas card is going to be useless for now. And then I have relocates, which I can use for buying power. Otherwise, this is going to be 2, plus the 2 on the board is 4. And I think it's about time we brought out an army unit to come to play.
This is really one of the, I think, the most fascinating games of this we've played. And although it's evolved every time, this has definitely been a buildings-heavy sort of game. And like coming to have army units just now is fascinating.
Yeah. Well, and the fact that I got naval units so early is pretty interesting as well.
I love it.
Your play, sir.
Alrighty. We're going to play these 2 plasma syntheses. 4 plus 3, that puts me at 7.
Ooh.
Golly, I could get to 9 this turn. I gotta figure out what I want to do here. I'm certainly going to buy this plasma reactor, but let's see what I want to get to. Maybe I can get to an alien attack factory and just be, or alien factory and just be more powerful all the time. No, we'll save that for later. 2, 4, 7. That's probably fine. So we'll go ahead and take this plasma reactor and build another one of those here for even more purchasing power. And then we're going to reap this one civilian.
Who came over to annoy you.
Get him out of the way. And then I'd love to use the Scorching Beam, but without my other UFO card, I can't do enough damage. Maybe I'll just abandon this building for now and go take on something else. Somewhere where I can do damage. I think maybe it's time to set myself up to hurt your... Oh, I can't move the guy. Doesn't matter. All right, and then the last thing I've got is this power supply, which I wonder if it's just...
Your biro does replenish if you want to see your options.
I wonder if it's just clogging up my deck here. I've got a bunch of nerve agents. Let's tuck one of those and see one other thing. All right. I've got up to 3 remaining, and I don't think it's worth it to buy that nerve agent. So I think I'm just going to throw this card away. I'm going to trash it and then not spend the cash because I'm tired of hitting it.
Sounds good.
Let's hope that was the right choice.
We'll find out.
I end up short on buying power. I'm so mad at myself.
And that's the thing you can do in this game is you can run out of buy power earlier than you would like to, for sure. All right. Let's see. How do we want to handle this?
I'm converting from an economy machine to a war machine.
Right.
Now that I've got this stuff on the board.
So I've got 2 points in economy because Josh still hasn't come and messed with that just yet. And I have 6. I could move people around. I don't see any reason to do that right now. Before I forget, I'm going to do 1 point of damage adjacent to your tripod. I think I forgot to do that last turn, but say la vie.
I think you should forget.
I think, yeah. I could see why you would say that. So I've got 4 6 buying power just like that. I can also move people around. I am going to... I am going to move my naval unit into a threatening position to force you to do something with your UFO cards. Mm-hmm. I have 6 buying power on the board, and I'm going to buy another Royal Navy card because my anticipation is you're probably going to blow that one up, but at least I'll have some ship options.
Oh,
so.
Most definitely I'm not going to blow that one.
So that gets discarded there. I now have 2 relocate cards, which give me an additional 2 purchase power, though I could burn 1 for another. And... no, unfortunately, I don't actually have enough humans in spaces where this would make any sense to do. So let's see. I am going to burn one of these relocate cards out of my deck. Plus 1 is 3 to get a redeploy card. Redeploy lets me move army units up to different regions or move civilian units to other regions as well. So there we go. I've added that to my deck. I'm going to shuffle everything up, and it is your turn, sir. For folks to kind of have a sense of the scoreboard right now, Josh is at 14 points of damage of the 30 I need to win, and I have 4, 7, 8, 11, 15 on the board. So I am just slightly behind Josh right now, but it's a pretty close game.
Let's widen that gap.
Uh-oh.
We're going to start with infrasound, and I'm going to do 1 damage in a land region adjacent to a tripod unit.
Yep.
Do I want to kill your army unit? Well, hold on a second.
I believe it goes to buildings first anyway.
Oh, and these barrage balloons exist.
Yes.
Perfect. That's what we're going to do. Infrasound, so we're going to do 1 damage to these barrage balloons.
Yep.
Get them off the map.
And what's the other effect there?
Move 1 human army from this region to an adjacent non-hostile region. This guy he's going to run away. Head down there. Yeah, that's fine. No, actually, I said give you fewer options. Okay, so that was that. Plasma synthesis. So I've got 5 production on the board. Plus 2 is 7.
I don't like that one bit.
I'm going to buy this tripod card.
Which comes up here.
Bring me another tripod. Happy about that. And then, since you're tempting fate with the UFOs, we're going to go ahead and blast the Royal Navy out of the water.
Pew!
And then we're also going to trash this UFO card to destroy this building.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't like that one bit, but at least he's short on UFO cards now.
The last thing we've got now is this Reap, and we're just going to go ahead and slide this guy over to him so we can deal damage to some unprotected cities.
Yeah. Yeah, not ideal.
Back to you.
Back to me. All right. Well, this is interesting. I am going to do something Josh may not have expected. This is not on the board.
It's not a single turn.
All right. Well, it's going to be what you expected, I guess. I get to move this one Navy unit to an additional Navy region. And guess what? I got both in hand.
Unexpected.
So I get to do 2 damage straight to the tripod. That brings you up to 16. You happen to be in a space with some lovely humans, so I actually have the ability to use gorillas. I'll ping you for another point of damage, taking up to 17. And then I have this army card, which this poor coward got scared away.
Well, it was a pretty frightening sound.
It was very frightening.
Yeah.
This army guy is going to go over here.
It's like when your smoke alarm goes off in the middle of the night.
Right.
He's just like, I'm out of here.
I'm
What is
done.
this, hardwired? I'm done.
I'm done. I'm out. And then this evacuate card I can use for the purchase power to actually buy something this turn, or I could try and move civilians out of the way. Given the tripods you have, you can start doing some pretty beefy damage to my civilians. I'm debating whether I should move or take the purchase power here.
Have you considered surrendering?
I have not considered
Peacefully and
surrendering.
unconditionally?
No. What I am going to do, though, is I am going to buy for the 2 here plus the 2 on the board. I'm going to overpay to get another bunkers put on the board to just create some more spaces for my guys to hide. So that's going to go right there. This gets replenished and refreshed. Your turn, Dr. Alien.
Okay. Well, fine. Let's start with the scorching beam and take down 2 of those humans.
Ouch.
Don't care for them. We're going to Reap, move this guy over to where you've just added some defense, and then play this tripod card and wipe out that building.
Well, that didn't last long.
I don't like that. Actually, you know what? We're gonna change it. We're gonna move over here and wipe out this building.
Yep.
Hurt your economy and then
Take off 1.
civilians.
Yeah, 2 damage.
I like that better. Then we'll go ahead and throw a frightening sound in there. So kill another one of those humans.
Ooh.
We sounded him to death.
Which is this guy?
Yeah,
Yep.
civilian tokens can enter next turn. And then we're going to go ahead and play Plasma Synthesis for 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 purchasing power. Let's go ahead and throw... let's do this Nerve Agent on the bottom. Let's see what else I might get for 7. A tripod. I'm going to buy that for 7.
All right.
And we'll go ahead and spawn him.
That's a lot of tripods.
It's all the tripods.
Good news is they're very far away from me right now. All right. I basically have cards in my hand that let me just run. Just straight up run is what I got going. So I'm going to use
Classic human.
I'm going to use this evacuate to run these 2 in here. Frightening sound means I can't leave this region, or I can't enter this region.
You can still leave.
Okay.
Poisonous fog makes it so you can't.
That's right. I'm going to use my relocate to move this 1 civilian over into this sheltered bunker zone, which is pretty nice for me. And then I am going to... I'm going to get 2, 3. I only have 3 purchase power on the board, and I can burn some of these to get more. Oh, I shouldn't have moved that. Well, I can't build there anyway. All right, so 3. This is 5, but could be as much as 7. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to burn both of these cards because I think I'm pretty well done buying. And I'm going to get this Airstrike. Airstrike just lets me do 1 point of damage each turn I can play.
Come on.
It's free damage. There's no conditions on it. It's just bonus damage to the aliens. I'm going to tuck 1 card as well just to kind of see some better options. It's your turn.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and play this infrasound. 1 damage in the land region.
This is gone.
We'll go ahead and destroy this building. That out of the way.
I believe there's some infrasound. Is there an infrasound marker that goes on there as well?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, or maybe not.
that's
No.
that's
Yeah,
the
different
new
thing.
one.
Yep.
We're going to play UFO and bring this guy.
Ah!
How many were in there? 4?
Yeah, 4.
Move him in here. Old Butterfingers Lobkowitz.
That's what they call you.
That's what they call me. We're going to play this tripod and move him off the coast where he can be shot at.
Oh,
somewhere
boy.
Where he cannot be shot at. And then we're going to play this 4 purchasing power plasma synthesis added to my 5 on the board. Puts me at 9. You know what? Let's trash one of these and make it 10. And I'll go ahead and build this alien factory. So now my tripod unit's attack power is always +1. Go ahead and build that here in the remains of Scotland.
I don't like that one bit.
Excellent. Back to you.
Back to me. And I feel like I need to start thinning or getting more stuff or whatever. This is not ideal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to...
You need to get good.
I need to get good is right. I am going to evacuate. So I'm going to move 2 civilians to a different land region. And I can scatter them. I can do whatever I want. I'm going to, in this case, choose to scatter them like so to adjacent land regions.
Oh, yeah, next to that boat.
Next to that boat.
Next to the
It's protecting
the
me.
protective navy.
That's right. All right. Then I am going to use guerrillas to do a point of damage, getting you up to 18 with one of those brave civilians in there. And then I've got one. Oh, nope, you knocked that off the board, so I don't have any of that stuff on the board anymore.
Just to remind you, the alien record doesn't say brave. It just says humans were present.
I am going to redeploy to move this army unit over to here to try and get in the way. I think there were 2 here, 3 here. Does that look right to you?
I mean, you started the turn with 4 here. Did you move
Oh,
those
no,
guys out of there?
nope, I didn't.
All right.
I moved some. I think I moved some out of here, though.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay,
You
that's what
started
happened.
with 4.
Yeah, there we go. That makes sense.
Sure.
All right. Then I'm going to move 1 civilian token to an adjacent land region. This one is going to get out of dodge and go to shelter over here.
Why are your foolish humans fleeing the safety of this protective building?
Because they're going to another protective building, and you have a giant UFO there that's about to blast them something fierce.
It will be protective rubble before long.
Then I'm going to move up to 2 civilian tokens to adjacent land regions. So I'm not using any purchase power. I'm just spending this turn to just scatter around the board. So
Run away!
Run away! I'm going to put I'm going to put 1 here and 1 here. So I'm going to spread this out. For the record, I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 on the board. Josh is at 18 points of damage. So still close, but Josh is just in the lead by a bit.
Let the alien record show that when danger reared its ugly head, you bravely turned your tail and fled.
It's true. Oh, and this is a bunkers card. That should not be in my deck. There we go.
Scorching beam. Protective rubble.
Bye.
All right. We're going to... Man, I'm so disappointed with all your running.
I'm just trying to buy time, really.
I hear you. All right. So we're going to play this... golly, how are we going to play this? All right. We're going to play this frightening sound where we're at. To blow up this army unit.
No!
Blew that tank up with noise.
And I cannot come back in there and mess with you.
Then we're going to reap to move this guy in here.
Yep.
And we're going to tripod to take these 2 guys off the map.
Yep.
And then we're going to tripod to move this guy away from that.
That's fair. Although I will tell you it doesn't actually matter because I can. This is a building I can target.
Fair enough.
My turn?
Well, no, I've got this 5 purchasing.
Oh,
power
yeah,
on the
that's a good
board,
amount.
So I think I'll go ahead and take another plasma synthesis.
Uh-oh. All right, this is going to be a big turn for me because I've got my boats parked.
You've got your boats parked.
My boat, my
You've parked
my
your
one
boats.
boat because you blew the other one up.
I can tell you backed in with that boat because of the sail.
That's right. I'm going to do 2 points of damage in a coastal region adjacent to Navy region with Navy unit, so that takes you up to 20. And I'm going to do 2 more damage in a region adjacent. I'm basically bombarding this thing that's giving your tripods power, taking you up to 22, 8 points away from victory.
I'm hearing that I need to destroy that ship again.
Probably.
Yeah, that's getting troublesome.
Then I'm going to build an army unit because I don't have any on the board up here. And then since you have your tripod there, I'm going to use my Brave Guerrilla Forces, burning that from my deck, to do 2 more damage to you, taking you up to 24.
Well, I don't care for this at all.
And then I'm going to run. I'm going to run with my civilians so very far away. They're going to go here and here.
Oh man, if your deck is thin enough, I'm worried that you're going to be able to pull this out.
Go ahead, your
My
turn,
deck
sir.
is a little too thick right
Score update. We're at 3, 4, 9, and then Josh has 6 points of health left.
So we're going to go ahead and reap this guy into here.
Yep.
Actually, I don't know that I care about the civilians. Maybe I care more about this army. I'm going to reap this guy into here.
Okay.
And then we're going to play tripod.
When you do 1 additional damage,
Yep, to do 3 damage. 1, 2, 3.
just wipe the whole region out.
Clear that. Then we're going to play. Boy. I'm just going to have to accept that I'm going to take this damage to try to wipe you out before that happens. Maybe. Play UFO to move this guy into here.
Yep.
And then this plasma synthesis, I don't think is serving me very well. So let me go ahead and stick one of these on the bottom and see what I can buy with all this purchasing power. Particle generator doesn't seem like it helps me. It's just another thing for you to shoot at. So I think I'll trash both of these, putting me at 11 purchasing power this turn. And I'll go ahead and take this alien abduction card, making that UFO a bit more effective, leaving me with 6. And we'll take poisonous fog to give me a little more range with those tripods. Back to you.
All right. Well, I got a little lucky with my draw.
Uh-oh.
So we're going to do some things first. We're going to evacuate, but we're going to evacuate straight into this tripod,
I see.
which is sitting along the coast.
Your evacuation route needs work.
I'm going to play Airstrike, which just does 1 generic damage to you. Then I'm going to burn this Gorilla's card out of my deck to do 2 damage in this region with this, again, Brave Soldier. And then I have 2 Royal Navy cards in my hand.
No!
I could burn one of them to end the game. I could just play 2 of them as is to end the game. But either way, that's going to soak you with 30 points of damage, and that will be enough.
Which is good news because I think I had enough to wipe you out this turn with two adjacent regions and up to.
Could you gotten this one?
5, maybe. 5. Maybe not. I don't know that I need to calculate it out. I had a lot of damage in my hand. Would have been close.
Yeah, would have been
but not close enough.
Nope.
Nicely done.
Thank you very much. And that is War of the Worlds, the new wave. Josh's poor record on live streams continues.
I want you to know that it wasn't fair because the human population had a lot of, it was flu season, and we know how that's really bad for my species.
Yep.
And really, you guys should have gotten your shots.
Well, and flu shots hadn't been invented at this time, which helped us out because we were all carrying the virus, and you couldn't do anything about it. So,
blast that Royal Navy.
Yeah, blast that Royal Navy indeed. So, yeah, that did it. Royal Navy was what did it for me this game. Usually it's army units that are kind of in the fray battling the tripods, but this time I got you from the sea.
Yeah, and I've seen this unfold a bunch of different ways. I've seen games where there are very few buildings on the board, and army units cycle and come through the deck really quickly, so they're getting respawned as fast as the aliens can defeat them. I've seen games where players don't do a lot of purchasing with the alien power, so they have more reaps and a lot more movement to just rush forward at the beginning of the game. I've seen games where the Royal Navy was clutch, never so key as in this game. And I've seen games where UFOs are kind of your defining front force with a lot of movement, and games where they just hang back and let tripods do the work. So there's a lot of different ways it can play out. I feel like every time we play this, the experience feels different than the last time.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, and what was interesting about this game, this building, which you were hoping was going to let you wipe more stuff off the board quickly with your tripods,
It exposed me.
actually proved to be your undoing because I had this boat just camped out here bombarding away.
Yeah, it was a bad place to build that. I mean, if this was open, this probably would have been safer because it would have forced you to go around the other side. But yeah, I think I used the power from it once. And it definitely soaked a lot more damage than it gave me to pass on to you because of my placement.
Right. And you had a great alien economy going too. 5.5 buy power.
Should have left
round.
well enough alone.
I know. And all these tripods you bought just sitting up here parked.
Yeah, I mean, if I needed them to spread out, I had the movement to use. But when the guys were close enough together, it was much more effective for me to kind of jump in, blast, and move on when I didn't want to expose myself to this Navy damage. Once I put this here, that strategy was kind of out the window, and then those guys were dead weight in the back.
So that's War of the Worlds, the new wave. Hope you all enjoyed the playthrough of this. This video will be up posted, so you can replay and watch it all unfold. If you
guys need to see it again live, I'd really like a chance to beat Alex on a stream sometime. Maybe we'll just wait for the next Kickstarter. I don't know.
Now wait, didn't you beat me at Reavers, didn't you?
Maybe.
I think you beat me at Reavers. It's just the record of that happened to be deleted.
Yeah. They're like, I don't know, it's Kickstarter.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I see. Look, really well.
Anyway, thanks to everyone for joining us. Thanks for supporting the project. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, if you have any questions, hop on the Kickstarter page. We'll answer them there. And until next time, have fun. See you later.